ready to do this. A few weeks late, might I add, but hey, better late than never. Yep, we are getting organized today. And you may be thinking to yourself, Haley, isn't it already January? Wasn't this supposed to be done like a few weeks back? Well, yes, if you're new here, then hi, hello, my name is Haley. I am going to be your 2026 Type B comfort creator. What do I mean by Type B? I'm a procrastinator. I am somebody who does not really have her life together, but tries her best to. And this is a perfect example of that. We are literally in mid-January and have not yet done that 2026 reset that everybody's been bragging about. I just didn't have time to get to it. So I thought, let's take out that whole assumption that if you don't start something in the beginning of the year, then you could just throw it out the window. We are getting to it today. Today's video is going to be one of your favorites, an organization video, an entire reset of little nooks and crannies around the house that I've just like been needing to tidy and organize because I am a really messy person. And sometimes I feel like my mind is so cluttered that it reflects into my home. Like whenever I'm filming a certain area of the house, like off the corner, you can always see that there is a mess hiding somewhere. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. So whether you are someone like me, or even you're not, follow along as we can hopefully attain some organization in this home. And this is probably going to be a multi-part series because we've got a big house to cover and a lot of mess to handle. So with all that being said, you guys, I'm going to make myself a nice cold cup of coffee because I'm going to need all the caffeine I can get. So let's reset this reset, shall we? Listen, this looks like a big coffee, but it's actually majority ice. I have self-control, okay? I already explained to you guys what the gist is, but along with organizing some of the spaces, I want to take you guys through all the different little changes I want to implement into the year. And these are just going to be little improvements to better my life, or better our life, because my husband doesn't like living in a mess either. He's literally nodding behind the camera. But I'll tell you guys this, the one thing I want you to consider before going ahead and doing a reset, truly just look at the things that you find dysfunctional in your home and you want to slightly better. We're not looking to improve anything. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to have all this organization and storage boxes and you're never gonna have chaos and mess going on in the home. Mess is normal. Something that my mom always used to say that I still consider today, especially being a mom of 3, is that a messy house is a house that is full of life. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. These are just minor improvements that hopefully you can make to make your life a little bit more in order. The main thing I want to do in this video is reset my mornings, because I feel like if you start the morning off right, then the rest of your day will go so much smoother. You see this cabinet right over here? It is currently a mess that we store so much random stuff in. I'm talking our proteins, supplements, a couple of the snacks that we don't let the kids have. And I instead want to take this entire mess and turn this into my ultimate breakfast bar. I'm just imagining like a little mini pantry here that will store everything that I want if I want to put together some quick breakfast. Whether that be making some quick oats in the morning, having some yogurt toppers, making my protein smoothies, all that kind of stuff. I want to open up this drawer in the morning and just see an endless amount of possibilities of how I can feed myself in the mornings or nourish myself between workouts. And right now I just feel like this is just so not functional. I always have to dig for my protein, always have to search for my supplements too. Even like these humongous jars, I absolutely hate them. So I want to find a practical solution for this. Well, okay, you guys know that I love to start off with a blank slate. So let me get this entire drawer emptied out. We're gonna put a couple things in some brand new jars so that we can easily see everything we got going on and just pretty much make the breakfast bar of my dreams. All right, so I pulled out a bunch of the jars that I currently have. A lot of them I actually thrifted myself. A couple of them I bought new if I couldn't thrift the size that I was looking for. I actually found the perfect jars for our proteins. This is the perfect size. They have such an easy to open handle too, and I could still fit my hand in here and grab a proper scoop, which is great. Here's my collection of some of the breakfast bar things that I picked up along with some items I already had in my pantry. This is basically a mix of things like rolled oats, chia seeds, hemp hearts, granolas, cocoa powder, different types of sugar, and different things I can use to customize my breakfast bowls. Sometimes I'm craving something savory like breakfast burritos, which I'm going to show you how to meal prep later in the video. But a lot of the time I'm usually craving something sweet in the morning, like chia seed pudding or overnight oats. Breakfast muffins, these are all the ingredients that I want to reach for in making those recipes, and I want to keep them all in here but organized. guys. I'm actually so happy. Finally, I have my most perfect breakfast bar. Take a look at what this looked like before and take a look at it now. I even have like some more space to add some more things over time that I want to add to my breakfast area. But so far, it is looking so good. Now, whenever I want to flock here in the morning, whether I want to make myself some oats or a protein shake, take my supplements, it is all organized in one place. We have all of our breakfast bowl items here along with our protein stuff. I kind of designated the corners to be Haley's corner and Eran's corner. This is basically all of his vitamins and supplements that he takes for working out. And I have my regular supplements over here. Right on up here, I just put like my breakfast spreads. We've got our protein bottles over here that we just alternate through. And then a couple snacks up top. We've got protein bars, some nuts that I like to have on the go, and of course our hidden candy stash. There's nothing like resetting a space, like resetting it with proper organization. And truly, these little levelers are so great because instead of having everything be on one shelf as it was before, being able to elevate it makes it so much easier to sort through. But all right, we've got our breakfast bar done. Our mornings are already looking so much better, and now on to the next. Eliana just woke up from her nap. She is the happiest little bub. I gave her a diaper change, I fed her too, and hopefully she's gonna let me get back to my reset while she keeps herself busy here just for a little bit, okay? She's been absolutely loving the setup, which is the Love Every playmat together with the Fisher-Price kick and play, like this piano. She is like my little pianist with how much she loves this thing. So while she's occupying herself, let's see if we can do a lot of our restocks really quick. I actually got a ton of little canisters. Some of them I got in store, like these that I got from Target, and some of them I actually thrifted. And the main things that I want to fill this up with is products in my home that are just in pre-packaging that is really difficult to access. So what am I talking about? We've got things like my dishwasher tablets and my laundry powder. Right now I keep this in my cabinet in my laundry room, and it's just so annoying to always have to like dig in, look for the scoop. The bag is just so uneven, it tends to spill all over the place. So I really wanted to put them in some more practical containers. So 2026 for me, a big reset, is going to be just making the swap to cleaner products in general that are just better for you, because nobody ever taught me how much there's products out there that just have such harsh chemicals that are truly messing up our hormones. So as I refill these, I thought I might as well tell you about a couple of my favorites. So first, we've got my tried and true Branch Basics. This is actually the coolest concept ever. You have a bunch of different bottles, basically like this. One that's like a window cleaner, one that's a general cleaner, and then one that's a bathroom cleaner, but they're all actually the same product. What do I mean by that? Every single bottle has a custom line on it that you actually fill up with water. So for the general cleaner, you would just fill it up with water up to here. And then this little bit right over here, that is where you would go in and you would add the solution, which is so insane. That little bit of solution will give you an entire bottle of cleaning product, which is how this thing lasts me for like over 6 months. Every cleaner has a different ratio of how much water to how much cleaning solution. And the reason I love this so much is that it is safe around babies, which is super important for me. Eliana's gonna start crawling soon, so whenever I'm like washing the floors, whenever I'm using this solution on tables, it is non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about her touching things and like putting toxic chemicals into her mouth. And like I said, it lasts forever. You just keep buying this. Your main ingredient is water, and once you add this, truly it cleans so well, and it leaves no stinky chemically smell, just like Lysol does. Then we have kind of like my cleaning products, like dishwasher tablets. These only use safe ingredients as well, and these actually do clean really well. I personally really like to store these in an acrylic container bin like this and keep it right under my sink to make it super easy to access. I like to wash my dishes with gloves, but I do tend to like wash my hands with these, and I keep reusing them until they rip or they're not usable anymore, because you know, we gotta do our part to be as least wasteful as possible. And then all of my other under the sink products, I love to organize using a Lazy Susan too. As part of my reset this year, I don't want to just make these healthy changes for myself, but also for my kids. So even things like laundry powder, literally whatever it is that me or my kids would interact with, I just want to swap for cleaner alternatives. I really love this laundry powder by Molly Suds too, and putting it in a big container like this will make it so much easier for me to be able to actually add this into my laundry if I do need a bit more of like a powerful boost. I've been really loving these drops. I toss them in the wash whenever I need like an extra good clean. They also don't have any of those like crazy toxic chemicals. They're also unscented, so they don't cause any allergic reactions. If you or your kids was to wear clothes washed in them, I mean, how cute. And you know what? Speaking of things that actually come into contact with skin, all of my kids actually had really sensitive skin as well. Aaliyah and Naomi constantly had diaper rash as kids, and I just thought it was because of the fact that they were sensitive. Then when it came to Eliana, I actually made a swap after hearing about this from another mom. It is such a privilege to be able to partner with brands that I actually use. So thank you so much to Coterie for partnering with me on today's video. And this right here is what the mom was talking about, and honestly, it changed everything for me. I've switched Eliana over to the Coterie diaper brand, and oh my gosh, this is the first time that I've had a baby who has not experienced diaper rash. If you're not familiar with Coterie, let me educate you the way that I was educated. This is one of the cleanest diaper brands that are available out there. They are safe for your babies, they work incredibly well, and they are remarkably clean. What do I mean by that? All of the major diaper brands out there, the ones that you hear most about, their diapers are actually riddled with so many chemicals that you do not want touching your baby's skin. Whatever it is that is put in those diapers to keep babies dry is actually what is causing those reactions and sensitivities. Their diapers are made without any chlorine bleaching. They hug her in the best way, but they're super soft and super absorbent. Why is that important? Because obviously in the middle of the night, I don't want to be changing diapers so often, and Eliana can go up to 12 hours without leaking through these. How cute. Probably the most unnecessary purchase I've ever made. A wipes cover. Keeps wipes looking aesthetic. What can I say? But the Coterie wipes are 99% water, and these are the best wipes. I kid you not. They are so thick. They are so durable. I only need 2 wipes to change a number 2 poopy diaper. I am fully stocked up on my Coterie diapers and wipes. I know that I've got a lot of fellow mamas here watching. If you're not already familiar with this brand, please get familiar with it, because this is gonna be the best choice that you can make for your baby and for you too, because a comfortable baby makes for a comfortable mama. So that being said, if any of you guys are also interested in the Coterie brand or any of the other healthier non-toxic swaps that I mentioned, I'm gonna be sure to leave the link down below with a discount code for you to check out as well. And with how ethical and sustainable their products are, I had to mention them during this entire reset, because this has been a really big change that I'm taking with me into 2026. This thing right here has absolutely no organization in it whatsoever, and I know there's a way that we can make this more functional, but in a realistic way. We're not gonna decant everything and put everything in a million different storage boxes, but I do have a few ideas for little upgrades we can do to already make this more efficient, so that when you open the fridge in the morning, you're actually gonna be excited to make yourself a breakfast instead of telling yourself, I have nothing to eat. Seriously, husband? What is this? How long has that been in our fridge? I'm not the only messy one. It's not just me.
1 out of 45 things.
I am not by any means trying to become one of these people. Somebody who absolutely takes everything out of their packaging and stores it into a plastic box. I just don't see the point. I feel like it's so much more annoying. Like, what if something gets moldy in this box? That would really suck. But I do feel like there is a practical way to use a couple of them to at least kind of separate the things that you do already have in your fridge in order to create more room. So what do I mean by that? We've got our little crisper bin right here, which I know everybody has a deep bin like this meant for like vegetables, which is great. But the problem is, because of the fact that it is so deep, if you put random vegetables in it, they kind of topple all over each other without any distinct separation, and you don't really get to take advantage of the height. So this is where these bins come in, like I mentioned. Because of the fact that they are higher but they're separated, you're able to slot them right into your bin and keep certain produce separate while taking advantage of that height. Right over here, underrated. People don't talk about them enough. I actually think this will be the perfect solution for us to store our eggs. Instead of those annoying containers you always have to open, this way I could just stack as many eggs as possible because we go through them quite a bit, and it will take up minimal space in the fridge. Another incredible invention. Like I said, these could be great if you want to organize your sauces. They make it so much easier to reach them. But in this house, sauces, it's a lost cause. My husband has so many, we literally had to get a second fridge for most of his sauces. But what I am going to be using these for are my dairy. So things like cream cheese, cottage cheese, ricotta, things I tend to grab for breakfast. I'm going to set them all in here and make them really easy to reach. And finally, the last thing that I would actually use containers for is containers like this, specifically for berries. My kids absolutely love berries. We go through these really quickly, and I do feel like like if you leave them in these boxes without washing them, they just tend to go bad so quickly. I instead like these acrylic containers that have this netting in the bottom. I actually like to line it with a little bit of paper towel to absorb any of that excess moisture. And I do feel like they last a little bit longer, but that's it. At that point, we are cut off from acrylic boxes and everything else into the fridge. Truly, you just gotta get creative, play Tetris with it, make it all fit in a way that you can still see everything. But that's really all it takes, folks. Oh, you wanna know why I angled it this way? Because there's a lot of dishes in the sink. Told you, type B mom. We're out there. Don't judge us. We're working on it. Doing that. So time to rehydrate. You guys, the fridge turned out absolutely perfect. Everything now is like so easily visible. There's a less clutter. It's organized without being like clean, free, chaotic. There's actually so many ingredients that I completely forgot that I even had because I couldn't see them. That's gonna be the perfect way to end this video and doing a good reset, because one of the hardest things for me truly is figuring out what there is to eat in the morning. And then Egan, my husband, told me, why don't you just like meal prep some freezable foods that you could just defrost and toast and have for breakfast? And I really want to try it today. Well, okay guys, something else that for 2026 I want to do a proper reset of is getting a little bit of meal prep done. And I know that meal prep can seem so overwhelming, but I actually think that this recipe, which honestly I'm kind of making it up as I go, could actually be something so convenient, because I'm the kind of person that always forgets to eat breakfast. So today I want to go ahead and make a couple breakfast burritos that are going to be so good. I think I'm just imagining it and it sounds like it's going to be really good, but they are going to be meatless because I actually don't mix meat and dairy, and I really want to put some cheese into these. This is going to be a super easy recipe, something that you can just honestly do on a Sunday. And I'm probably gonna make maybe like 20 breakfast burritos, which will get me through so many breakfasts when I have nothing to eat. We are going to rapid fire through this, so I'm just gonna show you guys everything that I'm doing and voice over it all, starting with prepping our veggies. Okay, my lovelies. Well, for those of you that like everything broken down into steps, you can actually look at the description box below. I'm gonna list every single step of this recipe so that you could recreate it so easily, but I'm just first prepping my veggies. You can truly customize whatever veggies you like. I'm just starting off with your classic onions and peppers and throwing that right into a pan so we can get to seasoning, which really you don't gotta go fancy here. Some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and oil is all you need. And when I think savory breakfast, of course, I think some nice warm potatoes. But girl, please put away the peeler, make your life easier, and actually use shredded hash browns. When you get them shredded, they don't have any of those additive ingredients. It's literally just potatoes. Toss all of that together and spread it out on a thin baking sheet, where I'm popping it into the oven at 350 until golden and crispy. And while that's going on, we can move on to our next step, which is prepping our plant-based protein. You can totally use ground beef here, but like I said, because I keep kosher and I want to add cheese to these, I'm using a plant-based protein. And just before it's about ready, I love to add in some black beans, because again, loaded breakfast burritos, I am thinking of all of these flavors coming together in one wrap, which just sounds so yum. At the point that your meat is pretty much done, you can take out your vegetables, and now we're gonna layer in our sheet pan. Take that beef and beans mixture and spread it all over the sheet pan, and here's the glue that holds it all together. Say it with me, liquid egg whites. Truly the best invention ever. You don't have to use a bunch of eggs. You can get all of that amazing egg white protein with none of the eggy mess. Pop that back into the oven, and at this point you're ready to assemble. Make this as simple or as complicated as you like. What I love about this recipe is that everything you need is literally in the pan already. So I'm just portioning it out, and I was able to make 20 pieces with this, adding a solid amount to each burrito and topping it off with cheese, because I know that once I get to toasting this, it will get all nice and melty and warm, and it will truly make me so excited to make myself breakfast in the morning. So that one day, if you're running late, you just pop these out of your freezer, set it on a panini press, a pan, a microwave, and you've got yourself a nice toasty crispy breakfast that is not just satisfying but also filling. Absolutely insane, you guys. All of that took an hour to create. 8 plus 8 plus another 4, 20 burritos. It took 1 hour to make. That's 20 breakfasts that are covered. For those quick mornings, you could just take it out of the foil. I personally really like to just put it in a panini press, but you can microwave it too. You can see what the inside looks like. That cheese is all melted. You got the beans, you got the egg, the pepper, the onion. Let's taste test this. Whoa, that is crazy. That actually tastes like there's meat in there. That cheese pull, so good. It's been so long since I did a little cooking segment for you guys. I know I used to get them requested so much. If you guys are into it, I'm definitely gonna do more because whenever I make up recipes and they turn out to be a hit, then it totally becomes something that's on repeat at my house. It is so good. No, I'm not kidding. It's actually really good. My hands were a little bit full with Eliana, but as soon as I put her down, I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of these into Ziplocs. Just date them so that I know when I made them. Pop them in the freezer, and then that is another aspect of our little reset that I'm so happy about. I know, it looks good, right? If you guys are interested to try it, I'm gonna leave it down below. You can also follow me on Instagram to see like a quick reel version of this. I'm for sure gonna be posting it too. And with all that being said, you guys, a big pat on the back for us. I actually feel like I accomplished so much. I know I titled it the ultimate reset. Truly, the ultimate reset will be getting to every single aspect of the house, but it's impossible to do in one video. If you guys do want to see a part 2 for like maybe my bedroom, my closet, my office, there's so many different spaces that definitely need to be reset within this entire year, but I'm really feeling good about where my kitchen is at right now. I'm gonna be sure to leave links down below to all my organizational tools if you guys want to like restock on any of my non-toxic products, including a little coterie diapers and wipes, which we love so much. I'm gonna leave them linked down below where you can find a discount code to shop them as well. And with that, if you guys are watching up to this point, you know that you're the real MVP. We love the ones, so stick around all the way to the end. If you are watching up to this point, then comment down below, better late than never. Because truly, even though we are doing this reset a few weeks after 2026 has started, let it be your sign that it is never too late to start. You don't need to wait for a huge milestone to happen. You get to choose when your milestone begins. Because having less clutter in the home and a more designated space truly just keeps my mind a little bit more clear than it was yesterday. But thank you all so much for watching. We love you forever and always, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one.